Hey everybody, before we start the stream, make sure that you are following me so that you can get more of my awesome content and join the Discord to voice chat with me. But don't worry, you won't be recorded. And make sure to go check out my reviews over on YouTube. You can also find me on Facebook and Instagram. And if you are one of those rare people that like to read, you can find my after action reports on my blog. And if you are interested, you can get some of my merch from my spring store. The links for everything are in my About section down below. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm going to take my glasses off. I always forget. My wife tells me to take my glasses off. I forget all the time. Yeah, so I'm Mike, and with me today I have a panel. We're going to introduce the panel here in just a second. I do just want to let you guys know. So what we are doing today is the third annual 2024, so MAARS Summit. This is the MAARS Summit for 2024. And basically what we're going to be doing today is talking about the movie industry. We're going to go over some big news. I have some notes, where obviously it's going to become an avalanche of different topics as we go through. This is basically the most podcast portion of Mike's After Action Reviews that we get. Any video or audio issues that we have, please do let us know. Equalization is priority. Make sure that I sound the same as everybody else as far as volume, and that everybody can be heard. My dad is over in the corner. He cannot be seen, but that's fine. So he's not that good looking anyway. You can see him on the video thumbnail. All right, so let's start off. So from right to left, if everybody wants to introduce themselves, and if you have anything as far, like I know Salty Skipper, he has some stuff he wants to tell us about. So go ahead and introduce yourselves.
All right, Staff Sergeant Matt.
Okay. Well, once that Dad should go first.
Well, you said to your right.
No, so from left to right.
Yeah, that's your right.
Yeah.
Oh, how it's viewed on my over there? How it's viewed over there?
Not on the screen.
All right. I am Lore Master Brian. So it's a little dark. So it's the best I got right now. I apologize. But otherwise,
that's all right.
Okay, now you can go with Staff Sergeant Matt.
All right. Retake. Take two. Staff Sergeant Matt. I'm the website guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Check out our website.
And I do the shorts because Tommy wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah. So the shorts, I will let you know. We do like 30. Wait, what's happening? Okay, so we do like 30 to 50 shorts every week. Staff Sergeant Matt's doing that by himself, and then I just review them and publish them. So, big round of applause for Staff Sergeant Matt. And also check out our website, guys, mikesafteractionreviews.com. We put up all of our stuff up there. We've got written reviews, so check all that out. But otherwise, Salty Skipper.
Yeah. My name's Stephen Russell. Author, comic book artist. I published my memoir with Blue Ear Books, Troublemakers, the greatest dog and pony show in Iraq, detailing my long deployment to Bakuba, Iraq with the 1st Cav. And I'm the artist and concept writer for Tales of Nihilism. And I am not drinking Dr. Pepper.
Yeah. Actually, at some point, I'm going to probably go get Pepsi. I don't have Dr. Pepper today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know, guys. I know. I've kind of failed. I failed in my duties to Dr. Pepper. Yeah. But anyway, okay. Otherwise, familiar face. Other Mike, you want to take it away?
Yes, other Mike here. The good-looking Mike. I am. Let me see. The most important thing. I'm a Christian. I am a husband. I'm a father. I'm a grandfather. I spent almost 35 years in the military, served as a chaplain. Now I'm trying to break 85 in golf and trying to keep myself busy. And this is part of it. And glad to be here.
Okay, I hear an echo somewhere.
I think it's
Okay.
me.
Is it
I
you?
knew it was him.
Yeah, I'm turning it down.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, because you got the the you're
Yeah.
watching another thing. How does it sound?
Yeah.
Are we sounding okay?
We're sounding good so far.
Like
Minus-
I'm not
minus
too
our echo.
loud.
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
you're
not
good.
too loud. They're not. You guys aren't too loud. Okay, because I'm gonna
You're,
review it. and usually
you're
it's loud.
perfect other than your facial hair. You're fine. You're good.
Yeah, that's what I know. I hate it. It hurts. Anyway, okay, Tommy Boy, take it away. Tell us about yourself.
Yep. Tommy Boy here. Still in the army. For now. Hopefully be getting out this year. Yeah. I'm hoping to get out this year and go back to the guard or reserves and just retire in a couple of years. So I just got a little bit longer. So yeah, but hopefully I'll get out of the active duty. I'm kind of tired of the active duty life. But yeah.
By the way, that
Come
was
to
me
the
doing
dark
some stuff.
side.
Go on, Tommy. It's just the video did something weird, but that was just me doing stuff. Go on, though. I'm sorry.
No. I got nothing else.
Okay, awesome,
just
excellent.
here.
So,
Don't worry.
All
I've
right.
done both. I've done both guard and active duty. They both have ways to,
Yeah.
take your
So
brother
yeah,
flesh.
I did guard for 8 years, got out for a couple years, and come back active duty. Now I've done active duty for almost 10 years, coming up on 10 years.
and
let
what
me
rank
tell
were
you,
you in the guard? Let everybody know what
retirement
rank
is
you were in the
awesome.
guard.
Yeah.
What rank were you in the guard, Tommy?
I'm a staff. Oh, yeah. I was a lieutenant. When I got out of the guard, I was a lieutenant.
And now
I'm
what
a
is your
staff-
rank?
Now I'm a staff sergeant.
And you made more money
Better
in the guard,
choice.
didn't you?
Yeah.
Well, no, you wouldn't have because you were the guard. But the
Yeah,
pay
that's guard,
scale
yeah.
for lieutenants, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like you have to enlisted have to get to 10 years before they make what a
It was
what a,
yeah,
what
it
a-
was about
first
so
lieutenant makes?
yeah. When I was lieutenant and deployed, with my company, I as a second lieutenant I was getting paid about the same as my staff sergeants. As
Yeah.
a first lieutenant I was getting paid about the same as my platoon sergeant.
yeah.
So yeah.
So and if we were to ask other Mike, he would tell you that when he was in, it was $50, and he went airborne because it doubled the pay to $100. When he was a first lieutenant. No, I'm just kidding. That's a joke. That's a
I,
joke.
was,
I'm
I was
joking.
a captain when I went through airborne school. I was
Oh,
38
wow.
years old, man.
Okay.
Man, that's-
So
And
you
that's
were making like
significant
$250 a month? No.
when I was in the,
Then
when I
when
was
you
in the guard,
retire, it drops down to 50 cents.
Yeah, there you go.
Man.
Yeah. Well, all right. So let's hop into this though. So I wanted to kind of start off strong here and go into the award shows. I would like to. How do you guys? I actually want to ask you this. So we're gonna do the award shows, and then I kind of have it divided into game news and movie news. I don't know if you guys want to hop back and forth or do movies first or games first, or maybe we can hop back and forth between subjects. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Not really.
Which one?
We'll go with the facial hair.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll hop back. I figure we'll do like one of games, one of movies, one of games, one of movies, like that. That's okay.
We'll follow your lead, love.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, so again, as we're doing this, make sure to check out the website. Make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe. If you become a member, you get the videos the night before they get published. And if there's any issues with audio or video quality, let me know in the chat. We'll fix it in real time. If you have any questions, you want to make a comment, let me know in the chat, and we will respond. Okay, so the Game Awards already happened. So all of us are veterans, actually. All of us are gamers to some extent. So the Game Awards already happened, and the Oscars, I see that. Thank you, Stephen Russell. Great to have you in the chat. Yeah. So the Oscars haven't happened yet, but we did get their nominations. So I'm going to go over the nominations later for the Oscars, but the Game Awards. Okay. So first of all, for the Game Awards, just so you guys understand the selection process. So there's a panel of 100 video game media and influencer outlets. That's like IGN, Eurogamer, all that. Basically, the panel, the jury selects nominees by having each outlet rank their top 5 choices. The games with the most appearances are selected. The winners are selected by 90% jury, these jury votes, and then 10% of public votes. So, yeah. So basically, only 10% is public vote, 90% is jury. So, for this year, so game of the year, we had. Did you guys? Everybody already knows all of these, right? Because you all looked at the notes, right?
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was going to ask.
I got them right here.
Okay, because I was going to ask you guys what you thought it was and then reveal it, but I'll just, no, we all know. Okay, so Game of the Year, the nominees were Astrobot from Team Asobi and Sony Interactive Entertainment, Balatro from Local Thunk and Playstack, Black Myth Wukong from Game Science, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree from Software and Bandai Namco. I do just want to let you guys know, there was a controversy because Elden Ring came out years ago and Shadow of the Erd Tree is actually a DLC. So people were like, if we can do DLC for Game of the Year, well then what are we doing here? I don't know. Well, I'll ask you guys about that in a second though. So Final Fantasy VII Rebirth from Square Enix and then Metaphor Refantasio from Studio Zero, Atlas, and Sega. Okay, so the award went to Astrobot. What's that? What'd you say?
It just blows my mind.
Yeah. Well, what did you guys? Well, let me ask you guys. Okay, so here is what the Game Awards says. It went to Astrobot. What are you guys thinking? Did anybody have one that they specifically were like, "Hey, this was my game of the year"?
Yeah, it was the Black Myth Wukong.
Okay, so you played Black Myth Wukong. Okay. Anybody else? Have you guys played any of these? So Black Myth Wukong is on here. Anybody Elden Ring? I played Elden Ring.
Yeah, Elden Ring.
You've played that?
Played the Rebirth too, the Fantasy VII Rebirth.
I didn't play any of
What-
these.
But I'm surprised wasn't at the top. Yeah, Final Fantasy VII. How is that not up there?
The
at the
winner?
Top? Yeah.
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 So I'll tell you, I know that when Astrobot came out, Astrobot is a great game. Don't get me wrong. When it came out, though, everybody was like, "Oh, this is amazing." I think it's a good game for what it is, but it's like a good arcade game. You know,
Yeah.
Hey, if I was seven,
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, it's okay, but I wouldn't say game of the year. Honestly, what is my game of the year this year? I'll tell you the truth. This year was a weird year in gaming, because I don't know. I mean, not a lot.
you played Ants forever.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Empire of the Ants.
Yeah.
Empire of the Ants I liked. I probably Stellar Blade would be the one for me. Stellar Blade or RoboCop, but Stellar Blade, I'd probably say Stellar Blade over RoboCop. But Stellar Blade didn't even make it onto this list. I don't know.
No,
What are your thoughts? Do you?
Like you were saying, DLCs can be on the list. I don't even understand how Baldur's Gate isn't right there.
Right, exactly, because they did. Yeah. Seriously.
Well,
So what?
Yeah.
talking about Stellar Blade and stuff like that. I played that one too, but the Black Myth was like I said, that was just outstanding for being a brand new IP and everything, and the rich history that it involves and everything else, and it's gonna get bigger and bigger because they got 2 or 3 more expansions coming onto that thing too.
Oh wow.
So
Yeah, because there's supposed to be 14 chapters in the first game, and there was only 6. So
okay.
they're going to be coming out with at least a couple more.
Was that a PS2 game?
PS5.
No, Black
PS5.
Myth is PS5, yeah, 5. Because it's so graphic intensive that they can't even put it onto the Microsoft X. I think it's the X. Everyone's a low end one. It's the X, or I don't have them. They can't even get it on there because they can't get the coding low enough to make it work on their video.
So you can't get it on Steam either, right?
No,
it's on Steam.
It's on
It's on
Yeah,
Steam.
it's on Steam. Yeah, it was the highest. It was the highest populated game once it came out on Steam for I don't even know. As soon as it was available, they just said it was the most constant played game by so many players at one time. It was just
Wow.
incredible.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. Do you think that it was snubbed? Like, do you think that it deserved to get it and it didn't? Okay.
It got snubbed, and then that's why we also have one of the other upcoming topics on where the community, the voters, the players,
What
they had
their
their
vote.
voice heard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
90%
So-
of the vote was them.
Yes.
Yeah, well, 90% of the vote was the jury, but yeah, that's what the problem is. That's what happened with Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima, when it came out the same year as The Last of Us 2, and I hated The Last of Us 2. This Mike's After Action Reviews exists. I every chance I get and I think of it, I got to thank Naughty Dog. Thank you, Naughty Dog, for creating Mike's After Action Reviews. You made a game so bad that I made Mike's After Action Reviews just to talk about how bad your game was. So let me show you guys this. So this is, if you guys can see, 1 second as my kids come in here. Oh, that's just, they're good. So this is the numbers for Black Myth Wukong. So playing 19 minutes ago, 8,000 people. The last 24-hour peak was 60. So it's 6:30 Eastern Standard Time, 6:20 Eastern Standard Time. 19 minutes ago, 8,000 people were playing, and within the last 24 hours, the highest peak was 61,000, and then the all-time peak was 2.5 million. So that is a huge, from just on Steam. Just on Steam.
Yeah.
Black Myth Wukong sold like 10 million copies.
Huh.
December 2024, there was 213,000 people playing all at once. That was the peak in December. So Black Myth Wukong is massive. I know that we're all familiar with. Let me switch back. So I know that we're all familiar with Astrobot. Balatro. I don't know if you guys know this. Balatro. This is so goofy to me. Balatro is a card game. Put my notes over here. I'm about to switch it.
Okay.
Wow.
That makes a lot of
Like a
sense.
card game.
Yeah.
So
That's
yeah,
freaking
1 second.
card game.
I'll switch. Yeah, so we watched a thing of this not long ago. Balatro is a card game, and I don't know how to play it. I just know it's a deck building game, and that is game of the year before Stellar Blade. Okay, you want to see something? Watch this. Here's Balatro. The 43,000 all-time peak. Watch this. This is the thing. This is Stellar Blade. Now watch. There's 43. Oh, see, they don't have what? They don't have Stellar Blade on. Oh, because it's not on Steam yet. It's not on Steam yet. That's right. Sorry. The other one was Metaphor Refantasio, and it's I don't even know. Like I never heard of this. Honestly, to tell you the truth. I intentionally avoid news from the gaming industry as a gaming YouTuber, so that way I am giving you my impressions as stuff comes out. I avoid news about games.
Uninfluenced perception of the game in reality, and not by hearsay from outside sources.
Yeah.
Right. So while I do the trailers every week, we do the trailers with Mike every week on Fridays at 6 o'clock. I do not keep track of the news really. I get a list of games that are coming out, and I pick ones for each month. But basically, I think that Stellar Blade was snubbed by a card game. I think that this game might be great. I don't know. It might, probably Eastern audiences. And I do agree about Black Myth Wukong. I think that 1 second here.
Just too small of a studio, and that's why it got snubbed. I just know it.
Well, yeah. Well, there was a controversy because there was some people who tried to influence some things about the game because of cultural issues or cultural beliefs, and the people. It's a Chinese developer, and they said no, get out of here. We don't care. And so there was like this
they're not
thing
in-
for a while.
They're not in all that garbage.
Yeah, so there was like a thing where they were getting smashed a little bit, like in the media, and yeah, so that might have played a role in that. But it's weird because Astrobot really was a good game, but I don't think it deserved. It's just not the type of thing that I think is like Game of the Year when you consider things like Black Myth Wukong, Stellar Blade. Okay, so then moving on from that, though, we have Player's Voice. So Player's Voice is the only category voted purely from the community, and the winner of Player's Voice was
Black.
Black Myth Wukong. Yep. Great. So I honestly, I'm not a Souls like person. I've seen people play it. It has a story, right? Like it's actually narratively driven.
Oh yeah. It's based on the
Journey to
book
the West.
Tales, Journey to the West. Yeah, and it has
Yeah.
it has characters from the books and all that stuff in it. Yeah, it's very rich in lore.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean,
And
great game. I know.
Plus, you have to replay the thing like 6 times to really totally completely finish it.
Yeah, that's a typical thing of Eastern
Dark
games
Souls.
too. A bunch of different people. Like there's been a lot of games actually that I played that were from Eastern developers where you'd play through it once and then it would be okay, now you got to play through it again because you've unlocked a certain thing or there's a different yeah. So basically I think that it's another situation where it's like The Last of Us 2 versus Ghost of Tsushima. Okay, so that was Game of the Year. So basically the real Game of the Year is always Player's Voice in my opinion, so Black Myth Wukong. All right, our other categories are Best Independent Game. So the nominations were Animal Well, and actually I'm going to show you guys. I'll show them to you in a minute. Animal Well from Shared Memory and Big Mode. Balatro, again, for Local Thunk and Playstack. Lorelei and the Laser Eyes from Samogo and Annapurna Interactive. And Neva, Nomada Studio and Devolver. And then UFO 50 from Moss Mouth. Now, I'll tell you guys the truth. I haven't any of these. Like I only know about these because of what doing this. But indie titles, there's been a couple that have come out recently that I think probably could have, like, when did Manor Lords come out? Let me see. When was Manor Lords released? Manor Lords, because that was an independent game and then it got picked up. That came out May 2024.
April 26th.
Yeah.
Yeah, April 26th.
April 26th. I think that just without even, before I even tell you what the game of the pick was, I think it was Manor Lords should have gotten it because they got picked up out of like it went into early access and then they got picked up from early access, but they were independently developed. Okay, so best independent game, the selection was Balatro. Now let me show you guys these cards or this again. So this is Balatro. Okay. This is Animal Well. I don't know if you guys can see so well. This is Animal Well. It's like a weird platformer game. Here, open it. Yeah, this is Animal Well. You can't see that so well. And then okay, Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, another weird puzzle game. Neva, which just from the look of it, I think that I would have thought that this was going to be the game. This is like a combat style game. It's like 2D like this, and then UFO 50. I don't know what is with this. Almost makes me want to play Balatro, just because like what is it with this game? This game was almost Game of the Year. We watched a trailer for it, and I mean, it was a card game. I didn't think it was so great. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. Is there anybody playing an independent game that they think should have won? Anybody out in the audience or who's watching this later on YouTube, let us know your picks in the comments down below. But I would have said Manor Lords. That's a city builder.
Oh, I don't know how this one didn't even qualify because I downloaded and played it. Squirrel with a Gun.
Okay. Oh, that's
that was
yes.
so fun. Oh my god. It was so
Yeah.
amazing.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen trailers for it. It looked pretty cool, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked pretty cool.
It's like even past the absurdity of it, and the fun deal of having a squirrel with a weapon and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's still cool because it was like a puzzle solving game as well. You had to go around and do little tasks and solve puzzles and stuff and get crazier weapons and everything. Yeah, we played that for hours. It was so fun.
Okay, because you use the gun, like you shoot the gun to move too, right? That's the thing.
Yeah, it's got like a physics mechanic behind it too.
Okay, yeah. So check out. So basically, check out Black Myth Wukong. Check out Astrobot. Everybody agrees that both of those games are good. I think Black Myth Wukong was snubbed because of this cultural issue thing and people didn't like it. Because just to let you know, the media that is bashing games for being good, like for instance, Stellar Blade had a whole controversy because the woman was really beautiful and she had a nice body and she would wear basically skin tight clothes and go fight enemies. That game was bashed by mainstream media, and the mainstream media makes up the panels that vote on these things, so it wasn't even included. So just so you understand what's happening. But anyway, Astrobot, Black Myth Wukong, Balatro, apparently, if you like independent games. I do just want to talk about one, because we mentioned it here. Tommy Boy is the expert on this one. He can give us some insight about it.
Wait a minute. If I could, just before you get started, is it just me or is Mike all blurry?
It's, so everything's blurry. Except for our panel down on the bottom.
Yeah,
but the YouTube's still clear, so I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's blurry for us. I don't know. Yeah, what's going on? But before we bring up this next one, why is V Rising not on this list either?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
How is V Rising not on this? Because it was officially released in May.
Okay. That's true. Stunlock Studios. I'm not sure.
Yes.
See, that's what I'm saying. So I don't know if it's like okay, one second. Do early access games go to the Game Awards? Because okay, yes, early access games can be nominated for the Game Awards as long as they are available to public consumption by the nomination deadline. Okay, so V Rising wouldn't count because of early access, but then I'll say, but I get it. V Rising is an awesome game, and I'll even tell you what the Steam charts are right now, so just so you guys see. V Rising is an awesome game. Pal World could have been it. By the way, let me just show you guys this. 150,000 all-time peak, 6,000 playing in the last 24 hours. Like, peak. So that means that you could have had like 1 hour, 500 people, then a whole new other 500 people, and you could end up with hundreds of thousands of people have played it today. But the highest number that were playing it at the same time were 6,763. So they wouldn't have mattered because they were in the early access in another year.
Yeah.
But then why is Manor Lords not on here? Because Manor Lords blows all those other games out of the water, I think. Yeah. But I don't know what's up with it. So
90-10. 90-10.
90-10.
Yeah, that's the problem. Really, that's the problem.
Crazy.
Yeah. So the next one, I just wanted to say that. Okay, so this next one though, I just want to talk about it real quick. We're not going to go into the nominations, but we did a review of it. Frostpunk 2 was awarded for the best sim strategy game.
Absolutely, for a good reason.
Yeah. Tell us about it. Tell us about it, Tommy.
Yeah,
anybody else? It came from 11-Bit Studios, by the way.
It was. Yeah, I I was super anticipating that one too, so I was excited when that came out. And for best sim strategy, like it definitely deserved it. The amount of stuff you can do with that, and the detail of it, and like it is a freaking awesome game. I really really enjoyed that. It's a lot more difficult than it was the from the first one. The first one, but this one, like you had to build up city to city and still manage all the cities at the same time. Like it was a good time.
All right, and just let me see this real quick. Frostpunk 2. I won't show you guys, but I'll just tell you. Oh, what the heck? Frostpunk 2 isn't on here. Oh, because it's one word. Give me 1 second, guys. One word.
Frostpunk.
Yeah, Frostpunk is one word. Frostpunk 2, current players 868, all-time peak 14,000, and then in the last 24 hours 1,000. So not as big in numbers, but definitely putting up good numbers, especially because it's a single-player game. That's the other thing too.
Yeah.
Okay, so then let me ask you guys this before we even get into this. Which one do you want to do? Do you want me to say the nominations and the winner first, or do you want me to talk about our most anticipated games first?
Go with the most anticipated first, and then our nomination.
Okay, so we have the most anticipated game. So Death Stranding 2, On the Beach, Kojima Productions and Sony Interactive Entertainment. Then we have Ghost of Yotai for Sucker Punch Productions and Sony Interactive Entertainment. Grand Theft Auto 6, which is from Rockstar. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, and then Monster Hunter Wilds. So those are the most anticipated. Let me ask you guys this before we reveal this. Are any of you guys excited for any of those games? Like, what are your thoughts?
One of them at least,
Okay, what are you thinking, Lore Master Brian? Which one are you excited for?
Yeah, I'm waiting on that Ghost on the Ghost because of that being the expansion on the Ghost of Tsushima. I understand there's a time period difference and everything, but it's the way it's developed. It's a bigger, a little bit more to scale, and even Ghost of Tsushima, that game was large, and this has got a little more mechanics and everything else. So I'm looking forward to that one from the list. But I don't even. I mean, Grand Theft Auto. I've never been in it.
Yeah. Okay.
Metroid though. Metroid might be another good one because I played Metroid when it came out when did it come out, in the 80s?
Yeah.
Yeah, the old
original
school,
Metroid.
like on the Game Boy. I played the Metroid on the Game Boy.
Yes.
Samus. Yeah, Samus on the Nintendo SNES. Or
It's like Game Boy wasn't in the 80s.
No, yes it was. Game Boy.
No, it was not. It was in the 90s.
Yes, because I got you hooked on Game Boy. Mike.
Well, Game Boy, I know that Game Boy was around for 30, like there were other competitions that went through, like competitors to Game Boy that went through handheld, but Game Boy existed for like 20, 30 years until they got Game Boy Color.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
The big clunky Game Boy?
Yeah, the big
It
one.
was released in 1989.
Wow. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then when was Game Boy Color?
Yeah.
Probably end of 90s.
Game Boy Color came out.
I'm pretty sure I was in middle school when Game Boy Color first got released.
That's what I was thinking too. I was around there.
1998.
1998. Yeah.
Oh, actually, I was about to go to high school when that came out.
Yeah.
So I shouldn't tell you. We used to go down
where was everybody else on this panel?
Yeah,
and Mike was 4 years old. So.
Yeah, I was 4 years old when it came out.
My gaming journey started with those old DOS games that you had to put, the floppy in
Right.
there and do the
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
What about other Mike? Other Mike, did you play the Game Boy?
I played Pong.
Pong.
So did I.
I got.
So did I.
I started on the. Oh, 1 second, guys.
Yeah.
No, I played in television. It was before Atari.
Oh, it was before Atari.
Yeah. Yeah, he's talking about like Coleco. Coleco was the only thing you could do on the Pong was Pong, but it was a full size console that hooked up to your TV.
That's when you put a
Oh
quarter.
my
When I played, you put a quarter in.
Yeah. Well, I started on the Nintendo.
We were analog.
Asteroids.
Well, I started on the Nintendo 64, and I remember when we got the PlayStation 2, and I even played Dreamcast. I played Dreamcast and PlayStation 1 and Nintendo 64. Nintendo 64 was the primary. And when we got our PlayStation 2, I remember Dad took me to my dad. I don't know if you guys ever heard of him or I told you stories about him, but no, my dad though, we went to the store and we had the PlayStation 2 and Dad said, you can pick which game do you want, and it was between Ratchet and Clank and Final Fantasy X. And so my first game on PlayStation 2 was Final Fantasy X. And I'm going to tell you, I'm so glad I didn't pick Ratchet and Clank. I know Ratchet and Clank's great games, but I love the Final Fantasy games because of Final Fantasy X.
Final Fantasy X was the worst Final Fantasy.
I know, but that's my point. I love that one, so think about how much I like the other ones.
It's caused me to stop playing Final Fantasy.
I didn't like the dream ending thing was stupid, but
He's the leader of the pack.
Yeah.
well, so we're just kind of coming back on topic. So we got Ghost of Yotei. Staff Sergeant Matt, do you agree with any of these as far as your most anticipated game?
No.
Or do you, and also, do you have a most anticipated game? What is yours?
I do look forward to the Ghost of Yodi.
Okay. Do you have another one that you are more anticipating than what's on the list?
Yeah. The one that you did the
Blood of the Daywalker.
Yep, I was gonna say the same thing.
Oh my God! Okay, just pause.
Yes.
Who here, with a raising of hands, who here is most anticipating Blood of Dawnwalker? Yes, right here, Blood of Dawnwalker.
Oh yeah.
Steven, if you haven't seen Blood of Dawnwalker, man, it's going to be your most anticipated game. Let me tell you guys something.
He did the review on it.
Yeah, the trailer reaction. Have you seen it, other Mike? Blood of Dawnwalker?
You know, I have to say that I'm in the dark like your dad in the corner on all this stuff you're talking.
I know. No, that's fine. Well, ask questions. That's okay. You can ask questions. So Blood of Dawnwalker is going to be an open world vampire game, and we haven't gotten a good one of those in a long time. So, and this one looks like it's
to do the shorts.
I actually was able to get the mini documentary on Blood of the Dreamwalker from the people who are actually making the game. That is, you talked about it, the Rebel Wolves. They did the Witcher series. They discussed the whole makeup of that game, and I watched it. It was probably about 25 minutes, but it was they were like German, so
yes,
but it was it was awesome. So I had a lot of more information than even their little game
it's
trailer.
It's Dawnwalker, by the way. Dawnwalker. But go on,
Dawnwalker. Yeah. I just don't care because I know I'm that game. I'm getting that game.
Oh yeah, 100%. Absolutely.
Well, I can tell you guys that I honestly, I have not. Being somebody now who plays video games, I'm playing through them. I have a fun time, and then I do the review. So it's like I've got to beat this game. I've got to, go. And so I see a lot of these games, and now I look at them and I go, like, is that really going to be great? Or is it just going to be another game I got to play? I literally, think about Blood of Dawnwalker, where I'm like, I can't wait till this. Like, I haven't had that in a long time, where I'm literally like, well, that game just come out already? I literally found out about it last week. I want it now. So I'm really, that game is gonna, oh my God, that game is gonna make so much money. So Blood of Dawnwalker. Okay, well, Ghost of Yotei, though, is the big one that everybody's saying they're excited for on the list. Steven, you got one from the list?
Yeah, same deal, Ghost of Yotei. I played Ghost of Tsushima, and that game blew my mind. It's one of those where, the artistic rendering game was just head above heels, and then the mechanics of the gameplay were something that was vastly different than most of the fighting games and stuff I played. So I was like, wow, it's amazing. But then, of course, Grand Theft Auto, I've played every single one, so I'm definitely going to get 6.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So did you have any ones that you like? So are those actually your most anticipated games, or do you have any other ones that you think you'd anticipate more?
I mean, I know they're coming out, with the last portion of Final Fantasy. I still haven't played the second part, the Rebirth, because I've been doing all the initial stuff, and I did the little expansion pack. But I mean, that's one that goes back with me. I think that's my first computer game that I ever played. And like I said, you had to load it up on the old DOS, deal with the CD, and if you lost that instruction packet, you no longer could play the game.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I have.
so that's been around a while, so I'm definitely anticipating that. And then the only thing that could really blow everything out of the water is if Bethesda finally got off its butt and decided to release Elden.
Yes,
Elden
something.
Wars.
Come on. Absolutely.
So-
Elden Wolf.
I'm worried about Elder Scrolls 6. I'm worried. I think that they peaked. I've talked about a couple different things where it's like the way that you customize RPG stuff and like true RPG aspects versus accessibility. And I think those two things met and peaked at Skyrim, and I'm hoping that they don't take RPG elements away.
Yeah.
I just get viscerally mad every time they release another reversion or re-release of freaking Skyrim, or even now they're doing Oblivion, and I'm just like,
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, we want number 6. Okay, well, okay. How about you, other Mike? If you had to pick one from this list, and then if not from this list, do you have a game that you're really excited about for next year?
Oh, well, I always play the Black Ops or the Modern Warfare. That's the game I play the most. So I don't know what's coming out, but I know there'll be something coming out. So I don't know what it is.
Okay, that's your
I'm
thing.
anticipating it. So
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're
Alright.
supposed to be doing something with this, with the that Snake or whatever, a remake or something.
Oh,
where they're
Metal
supposed
Gear
to be-
Solid.
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid with the Snake
Oh,
or whatever.
yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The remake, they're doing Solid Snake, Snake Eater. Or sorry, they're doing Snake Eater. Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater. Maybe you'd like that one. That's a third person shooter, but it's pretty good. I'll tell you. The original
I don't know. I
game
just
for
don't seem
PlayStation.
like I have the time to be playing games. I don't know. Maybe it's just not a priority for me. But I'm not saying it's wrong or anything like that. But
Call of Duty is a
I
big
just play
monster
the
that you
games I
gotta
like to
feed.
play. That's
Call of
it. That's
Duty.
the one I like to play. I got some
Yeah.
other ones I play too. So.
Call of Duty. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, all right. Well, let's switch over to Tommy Boy. So we already know that most people are most anticipating Blood of Dawnwalker. But from this list, what are you thinking for the most anticipated game? For
GTA
for this
6. That one's definitely
Yeah.
of this list. Definitely is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, all
Yeah,
right. Well, I
but-
will tell you guys. Oh, sorry. Go
Fast
on.
and Furious.
Yeah. Like Salty. Like I played them all.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to this one.
I liked Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, and I played Vice City, and then after that, I was like, "You can't beat Grand Theft Auto San Andreas," so I'm not gonna play any other ones. I'm just gonna keep that one. But okay, the re-release that they did this year was terrible, though.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was the selection of the committee here for most anticipated game from the Game Awards was given to Grand Theft Auto 6. So I know it's a huge game. It's going to be a big deal. I think those games are very accessible. So I think they have a younger audience, and they just have a lot of kids that are just able to play video games all the time. That just play the crap out of those games.
Why does that one not get hit by the woke committee or whatever?
No, exactly. Well,
if
I'll
they
be
want-
honest with you.
If they
Well,
wanna
I was
have
gonna
some
say
moral
I'll be
games,
yeah, no, right. Why wouldn't they change it? There was a little bit of a controversy, but I think it's kind of a monolith. It's too big. It's like because
Yeah.
they came out and they said you guys got to change this game, and then all the fans were like, "You guys get out of here. We love these games, you know." I was gonna say, but honestly, Ghost of Yotei, I loved Ghost of Tsushima, but Ghost of Yotei has had some things that make it kind of seem like Sucker Punch is gonna give in to some. When you're talking about the woke stick, yeah, it looks like they're gonna do some stuff that might be a little, that woke thing, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's. I'm worried. I mean, you still have hope. Maybe the game will still be good. Maybe it'll have some problems, but overall be okay. But I'm worried about it lowering in quality because of that. So, okay, yeah. So, Blood of Dawnwalker kind of wins it from us here at Mike's After Action Reviews. There's some other ones, but basically 4 out of us 6 say Blood of Dawnwalker. So,
Yes.
but let's check. Yeah, and I'll be playing. So I'll be playing Ghost of Yotei. I'll be playing Blood of Dawnwalker for sure. Yeah. So let's check out
Even
the
if it-
Oscar.
Even if
Oh,
it
what's up?
played bad, it looked good.
Yeah.
Even if it played bad, their trailer, that trailer in and of itself was just crazy.
Yeah.
And then watching the mini documentary about how they building out all the
Made it.
architecture from that and all that stuff. I mean, they're really thinking about it. Look at the Witcher series, especially Wild Hunt, the last one they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
I'm
was
sorry. I keep
a lot of
covering you guys
in-depth
up.
stuff, and that's what Dawnwalker is going to be based on. Is that's the same guys making it. So, hey,
Yeah.
us Germans know what we're doing.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, all right. I'm excited for it, and we're gonna play it, so we'll let you know. I will tell. Okay, so then let's hop over here to movies. So the Oscars. Let's talk about the Oscar nominations. Oscar nominations came out yesterday. So just so you guys again understand how this works. So nominee selections work like this: a committee of Academy members vote for nominees within their own field. So basically, a short list of 15 films is created, and then the committee votes again to narrow it down to 5, and then all Academy members can vote on the 5, but the only people who can vote on the 15 are people like, if I'm an action movie guy, like Michael Bay is not going to be voting on a documentary. Okay, just so you guys understand that. Okay, and then any member can nominate for the 3 specific categories: Best Picture, animated feature film, and international feature film. And we are going to be talking about Best Picture, animated feature film, and international feature film. Okay, and also actor in a leading role and actress in a leading role. And unless anybody else looked over the Oscars and wants to talk about that person, like a specific person, those are basically the best in show is what I'm going for here. So for actor in a leading role, we had Adrian Brody for The Brutalist. And we had Timothy Chalamet in A Complete Unknown. We had Coleman Domingo for Sing Sing. Ralph Fiennes for Conclave, and Sebastian Stan for The Apprentice. Let me just ask you guys this: have any of you guys seen any of those movies?
No.
Oh,
No.
no way.
What is happening here? In fact, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna, one second. Let me flip this over so you guys can just read this with me. Like, just a second. So you guys can read this with me as I'm going through this and see what I'm seeing. So I don't know any of this. Like, I don't have. Does anybody?
I'm guessing
Go on.
Wicked didn't make the time cutoff or something.
Wicked is in here for actress. Wicked is in here for actress. I'm just looking over these real quick because some people in the audience, I don't. Ralph Fiennes, wasn't he in? Okay, Conclave. That's the one. The Apprentice.
I can guarantee you though that Keanu Reeves did a better, a better job in Sonic 3 than any of these films.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, honestly, does anybody have? That's what I was gonna ask you guys. I don't have any of these.
Really?
Like, probably I don't know.
Or the guy in Nosferatu. How is he not in that?
Well, let me see, because when is the cutoff? One second. Let's look it up. Oscar nominations cutoff date. January 17th. What? Friday, January 17th. Wait, what? I'm not understanding. Eligibility period. December 31st. Yeah.
So it's the whole year.
Must have been
Huh.
qualified theatrical release between January 1st, 2024 and January 30 and December 31st, 2024. So they didn't yeah, like, so I would say Nosferatu. So I'll be honest with you guys, I didn't see Nosferatu. Okay, but I've heard that it's great.
Yeah.
It sold a bunch of stuff. I have, like, The Brutalist with Adrian Brody. Is this even out? Oh, December 20. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it had to have come out. It's January. I'm sorry. I lose track of time. I have early onset dementia. Okay, so I didn't know about that. A Complete Unknown. I didn't know The Brutalist was out already. Honestly, we did trailer reactions for it, but in the back of my mind, I was thinking it's coming out this year.
You know, I heard if you shaved your beard, you become smarter.
Yeah, I know. I gotta get.
Or,
I had
or,
to-
or drink more,
It doesn't work.
drink more Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
So I'll be honest with you, just based on who these people are, I would say probably I like Ralph Fiennes. Like, I just like
Yeah.
the actor more, but I haven't heard of any of these. Does anybody have one that they want to nominate? So we got Nosferatu from Steven. Anybody else got one that they'd like to say, hey, this probably should be in here?
Well, I mean, when it's going with the actor too, I'd say out of that William Dafoe.
Oh, for Nosferatu?
Yeah.
Oh,
me see.
and we're talking about nominees for actors in movies of any kind, or what?
Yeah, leading role. Leading role
Trying to
actors.
get out. What about Ryan Reynolds?
For
Deadpool came
Deadpool
out this
Wolverine.
year.
Yeah,
For the Reacher
I would
series.
say yes. Yeah, but no. This is just movies. That's the Golden
Oh.
Globes.
Yep.
But
Yeah, I'd agree with him though on that. You know, freaking Deadpool and Wolverine. Hugh Jackman definitely.
Yep.
So,
Oh yeah, Hugh Jackman. Yeah, Hugh Jackman. Even more so because hey, the guy is up there, but he's still looking good and doing his thing.
Yeah.
yeah, seriously.
As Ryan Reynolds points out too.
He finally got to go
Um,
full Wolverine. You know?
Yeah.
I'll tell you the truth. Oh, let me see. I was gonna say, I don't know. I'm looking at this and I'm going, Madam Web. No, I'm just joking.
I know,
Looking at
right?
my
Oh
list.
my gosh. Wow.
I would say
I think I
Beetlejuice
just
as
threw up
well.
a little in my mouth. Yeah.
Beetlejuice,
100%
Michael Keaton. I like Beetlejuice. I didn't think was an amazing movie, but Michael Keaton did a great job.
He did awesome. Yeah.
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 Oh yeah, he
And
stayed
I
on
would-
character. He stayed on character too. He played it the same way he played it when he did
Yeah.
the original Beetlejuice.
Oh,
20
yeah.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, other Mike? Do you have anyone that you might say, hey, I saw that movie and I thought it was a great performance?
I do like. Is it Timothy Chalamet?
Chalamet?
I like him
Yeah.
in Dune.
You liked
Dune
him in
2?
Dune. I liked Dune.
I'm sure
too.
I'm sure he's pretty good in Complete Unknown, where he plays Bob Dylan. I haven't seen it yet, but I suspect he's probably pretty good in that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Timothée Chalamet in Dune Part 2. Okay. So we got Ryan Reynolds, and it looks like Ryan Reynolds, honestly, though, is gonna take the cake from here at Mike's After Extra Reviews. So we'll see who gets it. But okay, let's talk about actresses. So we've got Cynthia Erivo from Wicked. Okay, that's this lady here, Cynthia Erivo from Wicked. We've got I can't pronounce this person's name. Now, I've been told by everybody. Okay, Amelia Perez. I've been told by everybody who's seen it. I've been told by people who have watched it. I've been told by critics. I've been told by audiences. This movie, Amelia Perez, was not great. And this was the dumbest nomination ever. I don't know. I haven't seen the movie. I don't know who this person is, but I've basically been told, no, screw that. That's stupid. Mikey Madison is the girl from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood who gets a soup can thrown at her. And she's been nominated for Honora, which is a story of a hooker who goes off and gets into a big relationship with a guy, and it's basically one of those kind of dramas. Got Demi Moore for The Substance. Substance is supposed to be an amazing, awesome, excellent drama / horror. And I like Demi Moore, so she's awesome. And then we've got Fernanda Torres for I'm Still Here. I have no idea. I've never heard of I'm Still Here. I don't know who this person is, and I haven't heard of this movie, so I imagine it didn't do very well. You know, it's probably one of those Oscar bait movies. What's it about? Let's see. It's a lonely, whatever. Eunice Pava begins a lonely battle to learn the truth behind the disappearance of her husband, former PTB deputy, while trying to keep her family together. Okay. Well, a drama. Anybody have any thoughts on this? I have one right away that I'm going to say I think should be actress in a leading role. But before I say my stuff, what do you guys have thoughts on any of these? Has anybody seen any of these?
Nope.
I've seen Wicked.
You saw Wicked. Did you like it? Would you agree with the assessment here?
I don't know who sent the other. She's a like African American actress? Is that?
Yeah,
I
she's
think
the
that's-
one who played the title character.
She did okay.
Yeah.
She did okay. I think when we get down to the supporting actresses, I'll give the person Wicked up for sure.
Well, this
should
is
be
leading
supporting.
actress. Yeah.
I know. I'm just saying that she was good. She was okay, but the supporting actress was the better. in
Ariana
that
Grande.
movie. Yep.
Yeah, that's like
Yeah.
Jodie Foster in Neon.
Okay, Neon.
Yeah.
Did that come out this year?
Yeah, isn't that this year?
Yeah.
In 23, I'm sorry.
Jodie Foster. It's all right.
That's
We are,
swimming from, what is it, Florida to Cuba or Cuba to Florida?
Let me see. Wait, you're saying the name of the movie is Neon?
Yeah. NYAD.
Oh, Naiad. Oh, yeah, I
Okay.
know which one you're talking about. Okay, sorry. That came out in 2023 though. Yeah, so that one doesn't
Yeah.
count. Now I had one that I was gonna say, and now I'm totally blanking on
Yeah,
what
it's
it
all about
was.
the beard.
Yeah, I'm totally. Oh, Mad Max. Okay, so I think that Anya Taylor-Joy.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was actually gonna say that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah. That was good.
I really thought that redeemed the Fury. No, this one was Furiosa, and the last one was Fury
Yeah.
Road. I think,
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, my bad.
Yeah, Furiosa was awesome.
and I think it redeemed like Fury Road, and I think they shouldn't have done them backwards like that. They should have actually done this one first and then the second one, because the second one was just too like out there, and you don't have any of the context from this Furiosa, movie, so you're just like
Right.
the whole time, what is going on?
Yeah. We're going with leading actress, by the way, Laura Master Bryan. These are what was selected by the Academy. Excuse me. These are was selected by the Academy. So we had Cynthia Erivo from Wicked, Carla Sofia Gascon from Emilia Perez, Mikey Anderson from Anora, Demi Moore from The Substance, and Fernanda Torres from I'm Still Here. Okay. So, I'm definitely Mad Max, or sorry, Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. My runner-up would be Dakota Fanning from Madam Web. She was such a good actress that she made us think that she cared about that movie leading up to its release. She didn't, though. She told everybody basically in the interviews, "I don't care about this movie. This movie's gonna be bad." What? Anybody else have a nominee for leading actress?
No, I completely forgot about Furiosa. That was awesome. She should definitely been on this.
I don't remember her name. The redheaded girl from Stranger Things.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Bobby, something Bobby. What was it?
I'm gonna tell you right now. Sadie Sink.
No.
Okay.
No. Oh, the redhead.
This one?
Oh, the redhead.
Yeah.
You're talking about Millie Bobby Brown is the one you're talking
Yeah, that's
about.
what I was talking about.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
talking about for the whale? You think the whale?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, but the whale was 2022.
What?
Yeah, the whale was 2022.
It just popped up on streaming this.
Oh, that's because it was but that was because it didn't get a wide release. The whale didn't get a wide release.
Oh.
So I understand why the confusion there.
It wasn't that big.
Yeah, and it wasn't
It
that
was
big.
just a whale.
Yeah, that's- the biggest
Yeah,
the
little
biggest thing
whale.
about it was the character.
Well, I'm surprised it took that long to get on streaming because I didn't even think about it, and then it pops up on Netflix. I was like, oh, Brendan Fraser did a movie, and then I watched it. I was like, this is amazing. Why is this not at the theater? Like, what?
By the way, just to let you guys know, so we have a chat. Al Francois, great to have you here. By the way, sorry I was a little distracted and I didn't hear my alert go off, so I'm wondering what happened there. But Al Francois says that because we didn't hear about it, it'll probably I'm still here will probably win. What were you gonna say though, Tommy boy?
The most recent one with Millie Bobby Brown. What was it this last year?
Enola Holmes?
No.
Damsel? Where she
Damsel.
fights the dragon?
Yeah. She did pretty good in that.
You think so? A lot of people didn't like that one, but okay.
Really?
A lot of
She did
people didn't
good.
like it, but hey, I mean,
story.
Yeah, it was a terrible story.
Yeah, her acting
Yeah.
was fine, but the the plot and the story was just like
Just
dog.
it was garbage. But
Yeah,
she
well,
did good in
well,
that. Yeah.
yeah. I was gonna say, one thing. There's another movie that we're gonna talk about that I would agree. I would say that about that movie as well. Do you have one, Dad, that you think maybe should get a nominee for Best Actress this year?
No, there's nothing that comes to mind for this year.
This year was kind of.
Yeah, well, I mean the Furiosa one. That one was.
Yeah.
That one was good too.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's check it out. So then I wanted to look over anime feature film. So animated feature film. We've got nominees. Flow. Okay. Nominees to be determined. I don't know. So basically the movie is nominated. We don't know who is actually going to get the nomination. Inside Out 2.
Awesome movie.
Kelsey Mann.
Yeah.
Kelsey Mann is the main character there. So Kelsey Mann and Mark Nielsen. Memoir of a Snail. These awards are artsy. They look for things different than what the paying public. Yeah, exactly. That's what La Francois said. Memoir of a Snail. What? Oh, I remember this. I saw this on Netflix. Maybe I didn't know. It's a different one.
Nope.
Okay, so Memoirs of a Snail. Okay. Wallace and Gromit, The Vengeance Most Foul. Okay. Yep, that made it. And then the Wild Robot. And I'm going to tell you, well, what do you guys think? What do you guys think?
My kids are wanting to watch The Wild Robot. They were excited to see that one.
Gotta watch it.
I don't care for that one.
I liked. Go on.
Sonic 3. That was like.
Yes.
I went and saw that with my kid. It's one of only 2 movies that I went to go physically watch, this year. And yeah, like
it was an awesome
Double
movie.
Trouble,
Yeah, awesome.
right?
Well, you know what? Okay, so I'll tell you the truth. I didn't see Inside Out 2, but I liked the first one. I know nothing about the movie Flow or Memoirs of a Snail. I went and saw The Wild Robot, and I'm going to tell you, I think The Wild Robot was better than Sonic 3.
What?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. I do. You know what the thing is that I loved Sonic 3, but the Wild Robot went in it. Okay, so like Sonic 3 is a really good action movie Don't get me wrong. I'm not. I just the Wild Robot. Really, there was something else there for me personally. I could see what basically. I think
we need
that
a break. We need a break.
Yeah. Well, I think that Sonic 3 and the Wild Robot should both be on here.
Absolutely.
And then whoever whatever the vote is, that's who wins. But I think that the Wild Robot definitely out of these, it's the Wild Robot for me. And then maybe the Wild Robot or Sonic 3 for like what I actually think should win.
Yeah.
Was it Flow Studio Ghibli?
Flow. Yes. Why am I not? Yep. Wait, no. Janus Films.
Oh, okay.
I'd like
It
to know
has that
why
title
Wallace. I'd like to know why Wallace and Gromit is there.
Gromit. Yeah, because they're like a goofy thing. I don't know. That's a little.
Yeah.
Maybe it's really funny. I don't know. Memoir of a Snail. I don't even know.
Well,
anything
that
about
one,
it.
that's crazy.
Yeah, probably. I will say probably Inside Out 2 was really good. Other Mike, you said you think Inside Out 2 was good?
Yeah, I liked it. It was pretty good.
It was. Yeah, it was awesome. I really liked it too.
It got a 1.7 billion box office, so.
Yeah, it made
This
a lot of money.
movie-
Business.
Yeah, this movie, Memoirs of a Snail, only got 1.2 million. The Wild Robot though got 324 million. Yeah, so but yeah, I would say the Wild Robot. I think Sonic 3 should be here. It's another one that like La Francois is saying in the chat, these are artsy movies. I wanted to ask you guys about it, by the way, too, at the end. So, okay, so that was animated movie, and then I wanted to look at what was the other one that I said? International.
International.
Documentary. Yeah. International feature film. Okay. I don't know
Don't
any of
move.
these either, though. No, I know. I don't know any of these either, though. Have you guys seen any of these? So Brazil, I'm Still Here. Denmark, the German with the girl with the needle. France, Amelia Perez. The Seed of the Sacred Fig, and Latvia, Flow.
Ooh, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, well, that's this one. This is Flow. This animated movie is Flow.
Yeah.
Has anybody seen these?
No.
Any of these? No. The girl with the needle. Okay. Sometimes my kids are freaking out behind me. This Amelia Perez though, people said that it was not very good. Like to get an Oscar is ridiculous, is what a lot of people said.
It was a pity Oscar.
Just a second, guys.
Oh, Al, he said Inside Out 2 set box office records. Yeah, it did by some of it. Yeah. Yeah, I really liked Inside Out 2. That was a really good movie.
When you're talking about foreign films, my favorite this year was the Platform 2.
The Platform 2. Ooh, I hadn't heard that one. Platform
That's a
2.
Spanish one. The original one was really, really good. It's this idea about economical hierarchy, and so they have these people who have issues with their lives.
Yeah.
And they go to this place, this platform, and they're like, basically, if you win the platform game, you get a lot of money, or whatever happens, you get your stuff fixed.
Yeah.
And what they do is they send food down from the first level all the way to the bottom, and depending on how
the platform.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, I heard of that. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
he asked. Al asked if the girl with the needle was part of the Dragon Tattoo series. Do we know?
I'm looking at it because actually I like the girl with the Dragon Tattoo series. No.
Did you see a nomination for the Don't Move for International?
No, you said Don't Move?
Yeah. Remember you did a review on
Oh, is that an internet? Okay, I didn't. It's not for the international. Here, let me pull it back up for you. It's not for here. it's not here, but I thought I didn't, and I haven't seen it, but I thought it was a pretty cool thing. This girl gets poisoned and she can't move.
Yeah.
It like slowly
Yeah.
she can't move more and more like as the poison goes. But yeah, the girl with the dragon tattoo series is not the girl. So it's like the girl with the dragon tattoo, the girl who played with fire, the girl who kicked the hornet's nest, is the movies, the books. Okay, so I don't have any idea about any of these.
Yeah. No.
I was expecting it to tell me like well, I guess I like Korean films.
They
Let
have
us
a lot
know
of
what-
shows, and when it comes to all like the foreign stuff, I watch a lot of the foreign shows.
Yeah.
Everybody's watching like the Squid Games and
Squid Games.
I was really disappointed that they didn't bring back the season of the Kingdom. That was
Yeah. So we're more familiar with. Well, let us know in the comments, guys, or in the chat down below, what you guys think of. Who is international feature film. But okay, so then we'll move on to the last one here, and the last one is Best Picture. All right. So we've got Honora, which is, like I said, that's the story of this. She's a prostitute. She gets entangled into a relationship with some. He's like a Russian mobster, or his dad is a Russian mobster, and yeah. Basically, she meets and marries the son of a Russian oligarch. That's what it is. She actually marries him. I didn't realize she married him.
Oh.
Okay, so that.
so it's Pretty Woman, but Russian.
yeah. And and I will say it's artsy, and also there is a lot of nudity because it's kind of explicit about her. This movie, The Brutalist. Yeah, so Jewish architect comes to America, and this is it's not a true story, but it's kind of based on a couple of different possibly real events. And he is an architect, and that's really what it is. He's trying to rebuild his life after the Holocaust. Complete Unknown. This is the Timothy Chalamet as Bob Dylan. I don't know if you could train to sing as bad as Bob Dylan. I think you have to be born with that kind of talent. So Conclave, this is about a guy. So basically Ralph.
You'd catch a lot of hate for that, Mike, but I don't think people like Bob Dylan can use the internet, so we're good.
So Conclave, this is the story of Ralph Fiennes. He's helping pick the new pope. We got Dune Part 2. There's a lot of nominees. I didn't realize there was going to be so many. Dune Part 2, Timothy Chalamet, Emilia Perez.
Yeah, we know that one.
Yep, that was the one that everybody has said is stupid to have even been nominated. We have I'm Still Here. We have Nickel Boys. Never heard of it.
Nope.
I'll give you a quarter.
Dreams are shattered. So this guy's college dreams are shattered when he's sentenced to Nickel Academy, a brutal reformatory in a Jim Crow South. Clinging to his optimistic worldview, Elwood strikes up a friendship with Turner, a fellow black teen who dispenses fundamental tips for survival. Okay. That doesn't sound terrible or anything. I've just never heard of it. Okay.
And this was
The
anymore.
Substance.
A
Yeah.
lot of advertising on that.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say okay. So now The Substance was greatly advertised. It's supposed to be quite amazing. That's for sure. Is what everybody's told me. And then Wicked. I've heard that Wicked was actually good, even though there was some social media controversies around it. Actually, I've heard that it was really, really good. So, any of these nominees, the only ones basically that I know are The Substance, which I think, from what I've heard about it, could be a good contender. Dune Part 2 I did like.
Yeah, Dune Part 2 be my
Dune
list.
Part 2, yeah, Dune Part 2 I did like. I thought it was good.
5 times in that movie.
It is long. And then probably The Substance, Wicked, and Dune
Conclave
Part
was
2 are
pretty good.
The three.
I watched
Conclave?
Conclave. Yeah, it was
Okay.
really good.
Anybody? Okay, so other Mike is saying Conclave. Anybody else have any opinions on who they should select from this list?
Doom Part
Well,
2.
they also don't seem to have like any streaming movies that came out as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazon.
Yeah. I'll tell you the truth, guys. I think that this should hands down go to Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
Like, I think that movie, not only was it good, as far as like objectively it was a good movie, a good action movie, excuse me, and a comedy, but it was also, I mean, people say, oh, it's a really simple and it's the plot isn't a big deal, and I was like, screw you, the plot wasn't a big deal. You've got the redemption of Wolverine. Seriously, the redemption of Wolverine, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that was a great story, and it really actually made me, it was heartfelt for me. I think that superheroes are so, like, Salty Skipper and I have talked about this. I think the idea of superheroes is amazing. Now, if superheroes were real, it would suck because of all kinds of different problems they'd cause. But I think the idea of imagining yourself and trying to make yourself become more. And Wolverine failed, and then he said, even in his own failure as a person with superpowers, he says, no, I'm not going to be the failure. I'm going to become something more. So, like, for me, sorry, just standing on my soapbox, that's why I think it should get Best Picture for this year, but it's not even nominated. Anybody else have anything other than what's on the any of these? What are you thinking?
I mean, I'm on the same with that. Deadpool and Wolverine. That was not only the most highly anticipated movie this year, just completely blew my. Like, I was like, all right, here we are. You're on the third one. How many times can you really replay this? Like, it might fall down dead, and maybe the whole, Hugh Jackman coming back as Wolverine, it's just going to be, played out, and we get like maybe one or two scenes with him in the suit, and that's it. And then it was like, no.
Yeah.
It brought back the feeling from the very first Deadpool movie. You're just like, holy crap, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I really did.
I agree with that. The Deadpool, Wolverine, Dune 2. I mean, yeah, it was a long movie, but yeah, Deadpool and Wolverine definitely was. Yeah.
Yeah, that was your pick. Okay. All right, I'm going to switch back from here. Okay, so then before we get into some news topics that I wanted to go over with you guys, I did want to ask. So we're looking at the Oscars, just real quick here. We're looking at the Oscars. What's going on? This has been an issue with the Oscars for a long time going now. What's up with the Oscars? Like Samuel Jackson said, they never nominate movies that make any money.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Like what? I don't know. I mean, are people? Is it that the Associated Press is who it is? I think that is in charge of the Oscars.
It's all the Academy voting members. Like, they're all like, film snobs, and
right.
There's no, it's the same problem that we're having with this Game Awards. 90% of the jury, is not just, they're not even like game creators or people who are involved in making games or anything. Like, if it was like voice actors in the games or the people who actually make them, that would have a little bit more weight. But these are just influencers. Like, okay, who really cares?
Yeah.
Oh, what's going on?
Yeah. Well, and the other thing too is that, well, actually exactly, game journalists, we talked about how last year, I said that it was kind of the reckoning. I know my kids are going crazy. My wife's supposed to be taking care of it, but Ellie, if you can hear me, can you make the kids quiet down just a little bit? The thing is I've always said.
So Mike has got Wicked in his house.
Yeah. No, so game journalists, though, I said that last year was the year of reckoning, and I think that last year was the year of reckoning. Like like that was the main hit. Like if you think like a baseball bat, they got hit, and now we're kind of on the backswing where we're kind of sweeping up the remains of what's left
Yeah.
here with the woke thing, with the over politicization of our games.
Yeah.
It's not even so much what people believe. It's just like you're supplanting entertainment to insert your message, and it's like, stop doing that.
Well,
Yep.
I mean, with,
Yeah.
with these people, what you have a problem with is the incentivization of their structure, how they're set up. And this isn't just game journalism. This is like journalism in general. They're incentivized to get access to the people that they need to cover. And therefore, if you cover them in a critical way or you cover them in a way that's not flattering, you'll never get access again. And it's the same thing, you know, the margins are even slimmer when you're dealing with entertainment and games. You know, if you piss off a game developer as a journalist by writing a bad review or a critical review, like, you're snubbed out of your entire job and industry for life. Like, you're done.
Wow.
I mean, think about how small and narrow that niche bit of journalism is. You know,
Yeah.
if your
Yeah.
name goes around to all the developers and they blacklist you, you're done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay, so that actually kind of gets me into something else that as we move forward into our topic here. So we'll talk about some movie news that this is related to. So, if that's okay, if nobody has any objections. And by the way, if anybody needs a break at any point, you can just let me know and we can break. But
Yeah, my catheters about full.
I'm gonna. Hey, I'm just gonna let everybody know. I appreciate everybody that's watching the stream and everything, but I am going to excuse myself for the rest of the time. So.
all right,
Been a pleasure
awesome.
being here.
Thank you very much for being here, Lore Master Brian.
All right.
If anybody has
You
to
guys all
go,
have a good-
yeah. All right, have a good night. Yeah, if anybody ever has to go, just let us know. That's not a big deal. But so going into movie news. So California, I know that you guys are all going to be excited to talk about this. California is just a waste. Literally, okay. There's a reason that California is burning, and it's because it is the closest state in the United States to hell that there could be, in my opinion. And every once in a while, a little bit of fire bubbles up.
This last week in the Northeast, hell froze over. You know. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because there's a snowman in my backyard in North Carolina. There literally is. We built a snowman. And Eleonora Casarato, my wife, says that the Dementor left the room because Dad was all hidden in shadow. So talking about the movie industry and game development industry, though, California this year added DEI requirements to tax incentives for movie studios. So what this means, by the way, games and movies have always had heavy messages, but the writers have lost the art of subtlety. That's what Alain Francois says, and I agree. And actually, I do agree. And I think that part of it is, and I think that the subtlety, and I've talked about this with Stephen Russell before, part of being subtle is being universal. So I watched a movie recently, or a video recently, and it was talking about stupid people. And this is the way that I describe this to people. So there's this guy, he came out in like the 70s or 80s, and he was a psychologist, and he talked about his rules of stupid people. And it was like, the first rule was smart people underestimate how many stupid people there are. Smart people underestimate how much damage stupid people can do. Stupid people think they're the smart people, stuff like that. Okay. The thing is that no matter whether you,
George Carlin.
yeah, well, no matter who you are, whether you're the stupid person or the smart person, if you watch that video, you're going to be able to look at that and go, yeah, all of this is true, and I'm not the dumb person, so I'm going to be better. Like, I'm going to make sure that I'm the smart person and act in a way that smart people act. Okay.
Yeah.
That is so universal of an idea.
Bob Dylan.
What's that?
I'm going to play Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan. well, the thing is that that's such a universal idea that whether you're the stupid person or the smart person will look at that and try to make sure that they're always keep doing the things that smart people do. And the stupid people, even though they don't think that they're the stupid person, will look at what a smart person would do, or basically what is right, and try to do more of it. And that's how you end up with a moral system, culture, and whatever that is trying to be better. We don't do that anymore. Now what we do is we come in and we say, "Oh, you believe that? You're the bad guy." And we not only are you the bad guy, we believe that what we should do is be totally mean to you all the time. And you believe something a little different, and you should be, okay. And that's the art of subtlety being lost. But basically, what this means, though. Oh, what's going on?
I do think it's interesting that California would be putting those restrictions finally on Hollywood, because if you want to talk about the industry in America that has been completely had amnesty in this area, in this arena, it's always been Hollywood. Hollywood has always been extremely discriminatory in its hiring practices and who gets to play in what movie and how and why. And they've always had excuse of like, well, that that's just how this movie or story needs to be. And it's like, no, not every single movie has to have this type of leading role and this type of supporting cast and things like that. There are cases where you're gonna make that, like, you don't want Roots cast with a whole cast of white people in it, like that's not it's not
Right.
gonna work. But
that's
Tyler
as
Perry
bad.
just made that new movie. What was it? 688. That was a great movie.
Yeah.
And primarily black women. Yeah.
But they've been completely, like I said, amnesty from any sort of DI hiring practices or anything like that. And it's not just in the actors and actresses, the front facing art, it's all the stuff behind the scenes too. They're highly discriminatory in who gets to work in what supporting area, in the mechanics behind it, who's going to be the camera crew, who's going to be the production people, all of that. It's all nepotism, it's all discriminatory. So yeah, sure, let Hollywood get this taste of what corporate America and everybody else has had to go through, which in some cases are warranted. Like there's not a total being like against it, but Hollywood is let them finally feel the burn.
Yeah, but like you said, though, you don't have black people in white people roles, and you don't have white people in black people roles. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Well, let me ask. I gotta. Okay, so I'm gonna ask this to other Mike because I know other Mike. I mean, no offense. We've kind of talked to you. We've talked before.
You're not out of the video games. I'm good now.
Oh yeah, well I was just gonna say, like, I know that maybe you're a little bit of an outsider looking in with some of these issues. Like, what are your thoughts on this? How important do you think that this is?
I think, like with anything, that it should be based on merit. Are you a good producer? Are you a good actor? Are you a good writer? I don't think you try to put someone who is incapable of doing that position in there, because that just drops the quality of it. I foresee, and it might be a little bit, that Hollywood will probably not be the center of movies, and it'll probably go like maybe overseas or maybe to another location in the United States where there's not as many restrictions. That seems like that would be they're going to shoot themselves in the foot. Now, not everything that comes out of Hollywood is bad, but it should be based on merit, not on DEI.
But could you imagine, corporate America or any other job industry, if they put out hiring, job postings like Hollywood does, where it's like, you want this role, you have to be a 20 to 30-year-old white female, and that's like on a LinkedIn thing.
Well, yeah, even more so than that, because it won't just be like you need to be 20 to 30 white female. To be like you need to be a 20 to 30-year-old white female with large breasts, and you have to be under 5 feet tall or like over 5'5", because we need you for the role of some like Wonder Woman or something, and then you'll have people, or what I always get a joke. I always loved if you've ever seen the Weird Al show, like I think it was like I'm an Ugly Girl, and they put out an ad in the newspaper and it was like, we need a woman who looks like this, and it's like, that's me. You know, I'm the ugly girl. You know, like imagine exactly like you're saying. Imagine that. Imagine that. Just before we anybody, I just want to say, Al Francois saying, I remember when they flipped out over the lack of DEI hirings for the movie Dunkirk, and I was like, WTF? It's an English period movie. Yeah. So now that's going to happen. Now it's going to happen where you're going to have a movie about medieval Vikings, and the leader of the medieval Vikings is going to be a black guy.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to have Scottish. You're going to have Scottish movies. Like if you have a Scottish period piece movie, you know, you're going to have what, like 13% of the cast is going to have to be black. You know,
Michael, they're already doing that. They're already doing that in movies. In England, they're doing it.
Yeah.
So I agree with you, but the thing
But
is
it's
that now
so
it's
out of
law.
context.
Yeah, but now it's law. Now if you want
And
tax
it's out
breaks
of
in California,
context, though. It makes no sense.
right? Exactly. No, it's totally terrible. And I think what's going to happen is that this law isn't everywhere, and so what are people going to do? They're going to go to Texas.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get out of here.
Yeah, they're going to go to Texas. So
To the
I
country
mean,
of Texas.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah, all the Texans around here are already complaining about all the Californians coming in. They hate it so much.
Yeah.
they're screwing up all the tax incentives around here. They're already screwing everything up around here.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think that people need to realize, look, I know that this is more of a left-wing thing than a right-wing thing, but I don't care about that for the purposes of these arguments. Okay, there are things on the right, there are policies on the right wing that I don't totally agree with. There are things on the left I don't totally agree with. What I care about is what is affecting the things I care about, which is the stories that we tell ourselves, because I think those are important, and movies and video games are that. So I care about this issue. Anyway, my point in saying that is, like, you need to look at California is this way, other places are certain ways, and then when you leave California to go to Texas, you need to not act that way then. You know what I'm saying? Like, you vote, you have a certain culture in California, and then you totally destroy everything in California, so then you go to Texas and act the same way and do the same stuff there. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
What we were talking about previously with, you know, like saying the quiet part out loud and dealing with this. I don't know if you guys watched the period piece, the 6888.
Mhm.
Yeah. I didn't watch it, but I saw the trailer. It was really good.
I saw
No,
the movie.
I was disappointed because, you know, the movie itself and what it was trying to show was extremely important. And I was like, hearing about a black battalion of women in World War II, you know, solving these problems and helping soldiers, you know, and trying to integrate in the army in this difficult time, like that's an important story. And I really wanted to, you know, watch the movie and hear their story. But 9 times out of 10, 50% of the movie was like we're saying the quiet part out loud. There were and had literal, you know, statements in there where it was like, we are black women, everyone hates us. We are black women, everyone hates us. You know, and they just kept repeating that over and over. And you're like, okay, you don't need to have this in the lines. They had a scene with a staff sergeant who goes in there and refused to salute the battalion commander, the female black battalion commander. And he did everything short of calling her the N-word, and just was like, you know, completely disrespectful, rude. Things that if you did in the army nowadays, like, you're definitely getting an Article 15, you're getting messed up, you know.
Or you'd get kicked out.
And you know, that scene was good enough to show what they were dealing with. Like, that was the show. You didn't need to tell, you know, with the actual verbiage. And then what ends up getting lost is all the important work that they did and how they solved the problems with the mail and all this, like the things that you wanted to know, like, okay, what was their solution? How did they make this happen? Like, you know, here's this and that. Those became like small points in the movie, whereas like that should have been the main message, you know.
Yeah.
And then we understand that because of the time period and what's going on, that these women had to overcome like such, crazy hurdles and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you one thing that I hate, and look, I get it. We're a panel of all white people right now, and we're all men too. But the thing is that, but we invite. I had Mr. Brownie God was going to be here. He couldn't make it. He's our token black panel member. I'm just kidding. That's a joke. He says that as a joke, but no. But what I hate is the idea that. So Billy Graham was a preacher, and he once said about Christians that a lot of people talk about how Jesus was white, and there's this thing about Christians and white people. And he said, first of all, Jesus wasn't white. This is Billy Graham said this. He said, first of all, Jesus wasn't white. And he said, I want to let everybody know here, especially if you're black, I want you to listen to this. He said, the man that when Jesus fell down, the man that helped Jesus pick up his cross and he carried it, that was a black man. Okay? And he says, if you think that black people don't have a place, if you think that black people are less than white people or any other people, the man that carried Jesus' cross was black. Okay? The point that I'm saying is, I hate the idea of, there were people who were black that fought for their freedoms. And there were people who were white that fought right alongside of them. And those people don't matter? Those people don't matter so much so that we'll have a movie where there's people who hated the way that black people were treated. And black people hated the way that black people were treated. But there were white people who hated the way too. And they all fought together against this crap. And all that we focus on is beating people over the head saying, with this actual false notion that all white people hate black people. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
You're taking it out of context, though. In that era, they did.
Oh yeah, no, totally get it. But
Okay.
I like if you've ever seen the movie Glory, that battalion commander was a white man, and he fought for his soldiers, and they were an all-black battalion. That guy's contribution to the fight for freedom for black people shouldn't be lesser, just like black people's contribution to World War II isn't lesser. Black people's contribution to the building of the United States into what it is today isn't lesser. I just hate this idea of, like I said, Christians thinking certain things about the way. I'm not saying that that's really a big problem in the Christian church. I'm just saying if that were a thing, if you're a person that's like that, that's terrible. You need to get over it, and that's wrong. And where is the idea of unity? Where is the idea of we are the guys on this side and let's fight against these bad ideas?
One thing I can contest to is we're all bleeding red on the inside.
Yeah, for sure.
Except for Tommy Boy.
Yeah.
He bleeds Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, that's what it is, Dr. Pepper. All right, well, let's hop over to here. I've got something for that's kind of related to this. So, kind of the same idea, DEI in gaming, okay? Who's heard of Sweet Baby? So Sweet Baby is a gaming, it's a company that helps games, but they also have same thing as movies. Sweet Baby is just important because they were like a big company and they happen to be a gaming company, but this also applies to movies as well. So Sweet Baby Inc. is a company that helps make sure games are woke. They are diverse. They have equity and inclusion. They have been involved in most of the recent games that have flopped. So, yeah, they were so bad that it got so bad that they now on Steam, excuse me, I'm covering you guys up again. On Steam, they have a thing called Sweet Baby Incorporated Detector. And what it actually is if a game is on Sweet, you can look up the games that Sweet Baby's involved with. So I'm worried because a big game that I'm waiting for is the Wolverine game, which is going to be made by Insomniac, who made, Marvel Spider-Man for PS4 and PS5. He's praised. The narrative director has praised Sweet Baby because they're involved with the game. I also want to say that Nintendo is getting into DEI. They have job postings that are seeking DEI employees to kind of start their own thing with getting into this woke stuff that is going to supplant entertainment. But all of the major failures in recent years have been Sweet Baby. Like Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. There was that one that nobody even remembers the name of. It was like it had the lady from The Witcher in it. Oh my gosh, what is?
They didn't like Suicide Squad kill the Justice League, or
They made Suicide Squad kill the Justice League.
oh, they made that game. Okay.
Yeah. Like most of the big flops that have come out, Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, Concord.
I mean,
oh
I
my God,
played that.
Concord.
I've been playing the Suicide Squad one. It's pretty funny. I don't see any like overt DEI stuff going on there.
Well, there was other problems with the game, but the thing is that the sentiment is so bad with Sweet Baby at this point. They were involved in The Last of Us 2. Yeah. They were involved in The Last of Us 2.
Were they involved in Dragon Age?
Yes, Dragon Age: The Veilguard. Spider-Man 2.
That was gonna be kind of my point here. Is if you want to look at two, compare apples and apples, right?
Yeah.
You have a game that has massive amounts of inclusion in it. Look at Baldur's Gate 3. Literally, you have everything from LGBT inclusion and representation. You have people who are different races and species, and like there's a whole gambit of everything, and you can make your character look any way you want. Now with all the new mods, you can make all the characters look any way you want.
Yeah.
But that's probably one of the most inclusive games, if you will. The most, has every flavor of everything involved in it that you could possibly have, and it is a massive success. It is still going. It is still adding on mods, new content, all kinds of stuff, and it's an amazing game. I've played it now at least 4 times, and just like just messing with it. But then you have Dragon Age that comes out and was supposed to be like the next thing, and I played Dragon Age 1 and 2, right? The last one, the Inquisition and all that, and I was excited for this one, and they completely go the opposite way. And it's like you literally had the line of the chick who comes out, jumps in, like hits somebody or something, and she's like, "Oh, I'm non-binary," and it's like, what? What are you talking about? Like,
wow.
Yeah, and you're just like, I nobody was playing Baldur's Gate specifically, for the representation. They played it because it was an amazing story. It was based on Dungeons and Dragons. It's, awesome. And people liked the first 2 Dragon Ages.
Yeah.
And guess what? You could make the whole inclusion thing there, and that could be in like some character chat, between each other or something. But
Yeah.
It just completely like, oh my God.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so I will tell you.
I am in it.
Yeah, Ella Francois says this. Ella Francois says this. Bad writing will kill anything, and I agree with you. I mean, I think that you can have that stuff, but it's all about writing. I will tell you, it's all about the writing. Okay, I will tell you, like, some of the stuff that I've seen as far as even comments. So one comment that I saw on a review was, these guys are crazy, because the review was saying it, because this game got like a 9 out of 10. 10 out of 10 from, so IGN, I'm about to do an action update about this, but IGN gave it a 9 out of 10, Game Rant gave it a 10 out of 10, GameSpot gave it an 8 out of 10, and I read some of the comments, and one of the comments said, after playing 2 hours of this game, I'm now trans. I don't know why, I don't know how, but I am now trans after playing this game. Like, that's how heavy-handed they are with the messaging of this game.
Yeah.
Dragon Age: The Veilguard. Yeah, it's so stupid. Yeah, I think that it's terrible. what they've done. I think that they can include that stuff, but they need to have better writing, and they need to focus on the entertainment first.
Bottom line, they're not going to make any money, and they're going to fail, and they're going to go out of business.
Yep.
Yeah, that's going to be the next thing I want to talk about too. If you guys are okay with that. But I was just going to say, the problem with it is I saw the meme. There's this meme where it says, just a second, I'll pull it up here. I keep losing where it is. There you go. There's this meme where it's like a warrior and he's in armor. Let me see. There's a warrior where he's like in armor and he's got his sword and he says, I will slay the dragon and save the princess and rule over the kingdom as a just warrior. Okay, and then the one below it is him but with pink hair, and it says, I'm trans. Do you see the difference? It's like, do you see the difference between the two games here? It's like, this is a medieval game. You want to be the medieval warrior who goes and fights the dragon and saves the kingdom. You don't want to be, I'm trans. You know,
Touch me!
Yeah. Well, it's not. I mean, you can even have. The thing is that you can have a gay character, but the gay character should be if it's a medieval game, the gay character should be a medieval knight who wants to go save the kingdom, not tell everybody that he's gay all the time.
My dragon's hot.
But to bring up, I did want to bring this up because other Mike talked about it. So in 2024, do you know, I know you guys have the notes, but I mean, do you know how many studios they've closed this year from game studios, just game studios?
21.
21. So get this. I'll just read a few of them. Tango Gameworks. Xbox closed the studio. It developed the game that Hi-Fi Rush, which had great reviews. It had but mediocre profits. Okay, like great reviews. It was later acquired by Krafton, which is good. People are happy with that because they're going to keep making games. Okay, Arcane Austin. Xbox closed this studio. They developed Redfall, which had poor reviews. Okay, Roundhouse Games. They closed. This was from Xbox. They closed the studio. It contributed to the 2023 game. So this was 2023 Redfall as well. People Can Fly closed down in December. They made Outriders, which was a game that had mediocre reviews and sales so bad that it almost bankrupted Square Enix. I don't know if you guys knew that Square Enix straight up almost shuttered itself as well. Firewalk Studios, which is this great, big, huge, it had such a great game. Broke records and everything with their game Concord. No, so it was shut down by Sony Interactive in October because they made Concord, and Concord came out and immediately was delisted from storefronts because it had like 12 players. Like seriously, it was like they had 100 players, less than 100 players. I mean, just like you're saying, they are shutting down. They're losing money. And that's why I said I think that we're sweeping it up now. Like, as I said, like we hit it last year, and now we're doing our follow through. We're sweeping a lot of this stuff away. And I think that in 2026, as we move into 2025 further, I think a lot of these games that we're going to be hearing about are not going to be doing the DEI thing anymore because we want entertainment instead of social.
Yeah.
Social influence, cultural influence. 21 studios though.
That's
like
crazy.
The game. I think that there's I think that what's going to happen is we kind of have a bubble because games are so expensive, just like movies.
Yeah.
Movies are getting so expensive that one movie can fail and a studio
They're
closes.
talking
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto is projected to be $100.
Yeah.
Yeah, no way am I. I mean, I'm not buying it.
I am.
Well, you can do the review. But that's the thing is we're talking where.
Even worse
Oh, go on.
because you don't, now it's even worse because you don't own the games.
Yeah.
It's mostly digital, and I mean, most of the games I've bought over the last year have all been digital because we went to the PS5 digital.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And they could just remove those things from the store as they want. They can lock them. They can do
Yep.
whatever they want. So you don't own it, and then they're still charging physical game prices for them too.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like there was no like, okay, well, hey, we're trying to move to this digital space, so we're gonna knock down, you know, the average game price from $69 to, let's say, $59 or even, you know, $49.
Nope.
Nope.
That makes no sense
The-
at
the-
all
the-
because then they could take it from you.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but do you know what's happening? And I agree with you, but this is just like, I'll say this, it's like Walmart. Walmart, you know, Walmart will do certain things and people like cost-cutting measures, and people say, well, what, you know, I mean, they're terrible for doing that cost-cutting measure. And you know, maybe they're a little, maybe they are excessive in some things, but the idea that I'm going to say to you is they're doing that because the price of goods, like the price of groceries at Walmart is increasing. If they didn't cut those costs, think about how much more it would be. You see what I mean? Like their
No, that's
margins.
not true. They're trying to maintain like their profit levels at where they are and higher. And
No, but that's
don't
what I'm
wanna be
saying.
like- they don't want to be like, oh, guess what? Sorry, the people who manage this company, since we didn't make as much money this year, we're going to take a little bit less because obviously, you know, there's some consequences for not running a decent business
Right.
this year.
Well, yeah, but and I agree with you. And I agree with you, but I'm just saying, like, if Walmart is gonna, which is the same idea. What I'm saying though, like, if Walmart
They always
needs to make,
pass on the abuse to the customer.
that's what I'm saying. So like, if Walmart needs to make a 10% margin, and then, you know, they start to make a 5% margin, you know, or even just like an 8% margin, what they're going to do is they're going to say, we need to cut 2% across the board. So we need to stop hiring cashiers, and we're going to put in more checkout, self-checkout, you know, and then you hate it, and you say, oh man, the grocery prices are increasing, and why is there no cashiers? Well, it's because if Walmart didn't do that,
there's also
you know,
a problem here. You kind of have an apples and apples here too, of, you know, Walmart, Sam's Club, Target, these kind of people, like they're the only game in town. You know, you typically most people can't go to a local farm and get their food, and it's the same with these games. Who are you going to go to? You're going to go to Nintendo, you're going to go to Xbox, or you're going to go to PlayStation. If you're that into it, you'll hook up your computer and do Steam, but you know that's a lot more like, you know, knowledgeable. Like you have
investment,
to have investment, memory, you know, all that kind of stuff. So the only games in town are these three, you know, titans. Well, okay, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna go to Nintendo? Nope, they have the same game prices. I'll go to Xbox. Nope, they have the same game prices. So you as a customer have no ability to, like, you know, force these companies to compete against each other.
So I got two things from the chat.
Now they all do cross-platforming now, you know.
Yeah,
So.
well, I was just say two things from the chat. Xbox is buying things up to prevent. This is from Al LaFrancois. Both of these. Xbox is buying things up to prevent competition, because last time they went head to head with PlayStation, they got their stuff pushed in. And then the other thing is, even the disc now doesn't have the full game on them anymore. Even the physical media argument is wrong. Yeah, so if you buy a game, a physical disc doesn't have the game on it. Doesn't have the full game. You still will need to download portions of it. I will say I bought from Limited Run Games a physical copy of Legacy of Kain 2. Now from Limited Run Games, I believe that they will have you'll still be able to play it. But basically what he's talking about is that there are games where you put the disc in, single player game, no online portion. If PlayStation shuts down, or you know, whatever, there's certain times when you can put the disc in and it'll say this is no longer available for this reason, you just can't play it.
Yeah.
You know. Okay, so I think that there is a bubble, and I think that they need to start worrying about that. I don't know what the answer is. I think that they just need to start worrying about quality, and then more people will be able to will want to support the industry. Okay, I did want to talk about this as far as see, these are all fitting in together. I didn't plan it like this, but everything we're talking about is doing. So we have the Sonyverse. I want to talk to you about this. We talked about all the studios closing down in the video gaming industry. Let's talk about movies. Sonyverse movies in 2024 versus Marvel. Okay, Marvel has been doing terrible over the last maybe 10 years, like ever since Endgame. But the Sonyverse movies might be taking up the mantle. I think they definitely have this year. So Madam Web came out. Rotten Tomatoes, all critics, 11%. All audiences, 37%. Box office estimated to have lost at least $100 million. Venom: The Last Dance, 41% with critics, 75% with audiences, and estimated a profit of at least $230 million, so that's okay. Kraven the Hunter, all critics 16%, audiences 70%, and the box office estimation of losing at least $160 million. Meanwhile, Deadpool and Wolverine, 78% with critics and 92% with audiences, and it's estimated to have a profit of at least a $900 million. So I would just, my question to you guys, and I want to make a little bit of a statement here as well. Why are the Sonyverse movies doing terribly, other than Venom: The Last Dance made a little bit of money? And why is not the MCU, but why did Deadpool and Wolverine, which is a huge outlier amongst the MCU, why did that make money while the Sonyverse lost money?
We say woke.
Yeah, I think so. I think that plays a part in why the MCU is gone. With the Sonyverse movies, I don't think that's been so much of an issue. Obviously, Madam Web, I think it was really bad, but I think that Madam Web was really bad because of all the Sonyverse issues anyway, and then add DEI or whatever you want to call that on, like the feminist movement on top of that, and you end up with a movie that's just inverted. I think what happened is, like with Kraven the Hunter, you had an interesting, you had a good cast, a good production company, and they just didn't do anything with the character. Like it wasn't a Kraven the Hunter movie. That movie would have been a good spy movie. That wasn't Kraven the Hunter. But it just wasn't interesting enough. You have Madam Web, where basically they took 4 hot chicks and made them do nothing, and that was the movie.
Oh, they complained a lot.
Yeah, no, exactly. Okay, and then what do you do? And then you go over and look at this. You got Deadpool and Wolverine. You got 2 beloved characters, and guess what they do? Do you know who Deadpool was in the Deadpool movie? Deadpool was Deadpool in the Deadpool movie. Do you know who Wolverine was in the Deadpool movie? Wolverine wasn't even Wolverine in the Wolverine movie. In Deadpool and Wolverine, he was comic book Wolverine in the Deadpool and Wolverine movie.
Yeah,
he killed people, and he liked killing people. He said the F word, like we're not messing around.
Well,
I mean, what are you guys thoughts?
This is what you and me talk about. You know, like all these weird Sonyverse movies. They center around the Spider-Man, lore and saga, but they're all missing Spider-Man, which is weird. It's like, I don't know what devil deal they did with Marvel and Disney, about like, we can't make another Spider-Man movie, or we can't put Spider-Man in another movie, but they just pulling him out of all of these movies, even the one that that made the profit, the Venom the Last Dance one, still didn't even come close to doing as well as their previous year, Into the Spider-Verse 2. And that's an animated film. That's not meant to, be like a huge blockbuster making crazy money, but worldwide, I just looked it up, they made $630 million off that.
Yeah.
It's like,
well, Ella Francois says here. Yeah, well, Ella Francois is saying a similar thing here in the chat. The Sonyverse has characters that are side characters and not main characters. I mean, but my point is that even if you took a side character, you could do something to make a side. And I'm not a writer, so my job is not to write. I'm a critic, so my job is to critique. I can tell you if it's good, even if I can't make it good for myself. I'm telling you, you could take Kraven the Hunter and do something cool. The thing is that you've got to do something cool. Like that's it. You've got to fulfill the character, Well,
like he said before, bad writing.
Yeah, just bad writing, and
And that's what I want to get to on the Deadpool and Wolverine. Like, I feel like Ryan Reynolds had a lot more say on how that movie's gonna be than everybody else in those other movies. So that's the reason why he makes sure that movie's gonna be what the crowd wants, what people want to see. Yeah. That's the reason why it turned out so freaking awesome.
Yeah. Well, I'll say. So we are. So there's two more topics. We're running out of time. We are running out of time. I want to quickly get through some ideas. I'll throw these out here and we can talk about it because they kind of relate to each other. As far as Marvel, anyway, I can't talk about the Sonyverse. Sonyverse is done. They've cut it out. Now we've got James Gunn starting up with the Superman. Hopefully that turns into something great.
Yeah. We'll see
But
how
as
that's
far as
going.
Marvel, we've got Bob Iger. He said that politics is bad for business. He wants to go back to entertainment first. I don't know how true that is, but that's what he's saying. There
Yeah.
was this, yeah. There was a huge internal conflict with Disney where an investor named Nelson Peltz, he wanted to get on the board of directors because he basically was saying exactly like, let's be entertainment first. Basically, so it's been verified now by Forbes and other outlets, like Star Wars hasn't made any money because of, and we all kind of understand they became like kind of this political mouthpiece for feminism and other ideas. Okay, so take that, and I think these two things relate to each other. Then on the gaming side of things, you have the Stellar Blade controversy, which all these people complained because they said the woman shouldn't look that way. It shouldn't be for the male gaze. It shouldn't. It should be more basically feminist ideology. You shouldn't have her dressed in sexy clothes. That game topped the sales charts with over 1 million copies in the first month. It got an 8 out of 10 from GameSpot. Critics hated Eve being sexy, but everybody else said the game was awesome. It had atypical success, being that it's not a sequel or remake. It's not based on an established IP. The studio has never made a AAA game before. Single-player games. It's a single-player game with no multiplayer at all, and no microtransactions or season pass of any kind. So that game was hugely successful. Okay, Deadpool and Wolverine was hugely successful, and they did all of the things that Disney and on the movie side and the game journalists on the game side said that was wrong. Meanwhile, they're making $1 billion with these two movies that basically gave those guys the finger, and that's why I think there's a little bit of hope. But at the same time, it's like those are flat. I hope those aren't flashes in the pan.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I will tell you this. There's something that California has taught us. With a small spark, you can create a massive fire. No, I'm just kidding. So I don't know. I mean, what are your guys' thoughts? Do you have hope? This is kind of our closing argument here. Do we have hope? What are we thinking?
I think that any time that you have a business, you have to make money. When you don't make money, you're going to have to make changes to do that. When I worked in a grocery store, they always said the customer's right. Now that didn't mean they always were right, but it meant that if they don't like what we're giving them at the grocery store, we better find out what they like and get it for them. Because we're trying to make money. And I mean, it's just like marketing. Movies have to do marketing. They have to do the right kind of casting. They got to pick characters that are like about. I didn't know about Craven. I didn't know about Madam Web. That just was kind of. I don't think they were bad movies. I don't think they were bad movies, but I just didn't know about them. Venom I knew about. Wolverine and Deadpool I knew about. But if you're gonna make money, you gotta adjust. You gotta do that. So I do think there's hope. I think that, like I said, either Hollywood's gonna shape up or people are going to ship out to another location and do things without all that overhead stuff that the state's trying to do to them.
We're going to go to Georgia.
Yeah, Atlanta.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, a lot of the not just movie media, but you're seeing it in art, you're seeing it in comics, you're seeing it in journalism, writing, just about every industry is moving to an independent space as the majority of who create and push out things, and try to build audiences. And due to that, you're having all these creators like myself who are creating things, and I'm not creating it specifically for an audience. I'm not, making my comics to, tailor to feedback or things that people are saying. I'm making this thing, and people either like it or they don't, and if they do, they flock to you. and you're seeing that movement happen with film. You're seeing it happen in writing and all over the place. Journalism, everywhere. People are flocking to these independent creators because they're tired of this mainstream cookie cutter. You know, we're gonna do this, and they have these, you know, doorways that are shut, and you can only enter, you know, if you're a special person. And then on top
Exactly.
of that, they're
Yeah.
like, we're the industry leaders, so you can only tell stories this way, you can only do things this way. And people are just like, you know, hey, it's old now.
Yeah. Well, I'll
Yeah.
say this. I want to say this, and I'm trying to think of how to delicately say it. But look, no matter how I say it, somebody's going to get upset. So I'm just going to tell you, look, you got to take it with a grain of salt and try to understand what my meaning here is. This is a cultural issue. Okay? This is culture. This is groups of people who have no idea what people like, trying to take what you like, take what they like, and make you like it. They want to hear you say their opinions. Not getting into anything political, but there has been a huge upset between the elites of every industry on every level versus the people recently and there was the presidential election. Okay, we're not going to talk about our opinions on it necessarily, but the idea that you have this huge upset where everybody says this is what it should be, this is who it should be, this is who we should have, and everybody basically, I think a large portion of I think a good portion of some of what that was just people being done. They're like, look, if that guy is telling me to do it, I'm not going to do it because I hate what that guy's been giving me for the last 10 years. And that's the news media, that's games journalists, that's movie industry, that's everybody. And they're just sick of it. I think that they're just sick of it. And now get rid of the political thing and just think like, that's the game industry right now. You know? If there was a gaming company that came out and said, and they came out and said, every single thing that you ever wanted in a video game, we're going to make 5 video games over the next 5 years, and each one is going to have all of those things. EA, Sony, all of them would go out of business because everybody would be like, screw EA and all these guys, we're going to go with that guy. You know, just because, and not even because that guy or that company, not even because they're so great, but it's just because we're just sick and tired of what we've been getting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I look at, you know, the streaming movies that came out this year, and 9 times out of 10, what was coming out on streaming was a lot better than what was out at the box office. And a lot of those are independent studios and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, look, I think that there is hope because of indie games. I think that there's hope because of smaller movies, and like you're saying, streaming is basically direct to consumer, where it's like, look, we can tell immediately that we are not making profits off of what it is because the discourse around it. You know, how people make it known we don't like this, you know. That thumbs up and thumbs down, you know.
I would have more hope if independent creators started, you know, coming together and making more, like, you know, crowd blocks with themselves.
Yeah. Yep.
Because there's a lot who are doing similar things, and
I know we're finishing up, guys. So.
You know, operating in the same vein, but everybody in all of these industries seems to only be in their little corners. You know.
Well, they're fighting the monopoly too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Michael.
Well, I think. Oh yes.
I think there's one thing that I thought that gives me hope is that the one thing you can't do that's built into our culture as Americans is try to force us to do something we don't want to do. And I think that businesses will roll to where the cash flow is. And I think it's the same in the gaming and the video that's going on, because look at all the other avenues they have. You don't go to the movie theater anymore to watch a good movie. You can watch it on Netflix or something else. So I think that's you just can't. People just they got to survive. They have to have food on the table. They want to make money. I'm not saying you're greedy, but you got to make a living, and you're not getting into a business because you want to lose money. I mean, and sometimes people do stuff and they fail. but then they learn from it. So I mean, I think that this is just the way America's been. It's just different now because we got different media and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Like I said, I mean, there are some small, there are some hope, and I think the internet and being able to access information, and things being able to get to you right away is another piece of hope for people. You know, it's like the sweet baby detected thing. As soon as you know that these certain things are being pushed into a video game or pushed into a movie, you immediately know, well, I'm not going to see that, so that'll fail. But we're going to see how it goes throughout the next year. So, yeah, I kind of want to wrap up. So we're at 2 hours and 12 minutes. We usually wrap up about 2 hours. So everybody's getting tired. All of my panel members are really old. I'm gonna do a poll where we're gonna say
resemble that.
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna do a poll. I was thinking about doing a poll where I put like Dad, and other Mike and Staff Sergeant Matt on one side and say who's better, you know, the olds or the youngs from the panel this time, and we'll see how it turns out. Maybe I'll do that still. I was thinking about it. I don't know. Yeah.
John Wick is coming out this year.
Yeah. Oh, okay. There you go.
Ballerina.
Yeah, that's
that
right.
looks
Yep,
good.
that
That
is
looks
true.
good.
Yeah. Yeah, so there is, I think that we do have some hope in a few things, and we're going to keep track of it this year, guys. Listen, make sure, get the merch. Get the merch. Everybody else is wearing it. I have a special shirt because I can't wear green behind, because this is a green screen. I need to get a blue screen. But you can check it out. We have the werewolf shirts. You're going to see them down below the video on the channel. Make sure to support, guys. We really need the support. We are a business. We want to do bigger and better things. We want to have more people. We want to do more giveaways. Really appreciate the support. Check out the merch. Like I said, we only make $5 off of anything that we sell on the merch store. So our prices are competitive compared to other people. And that's our Teespring store. Like, share, comment, subscribe, become a member. You get to see the videos early. And support our sponsors. Any sponsors that you see, they're not corporate sponsors. We've had a couple sponsors. They're not corporate. They're small businesses. They could use your help, and if you support them, you're supporting us. But that's all we've got today, guys. We're going to keep track of all this stuff, and then next year we're going to have another one in January, another MAARS Summit, and we'll talk about it and keep track of some of this stuff going on with Disney, and like we said, like John Wick's, we got that movie. We've got the Superman. We've got future MCU. I'm really scared for the MCU this year in 2025 for sure, though, and we'll see about it. Does anybody else have anything they want to say? You guys want to all anything you want to say to the audience before we go?
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Michael Beards rock.
There you go.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. I was gonna shave. I'm gonna shave immediately after this. My skin is sensitive. It's rough on my face. Yeah. Yeah. Go. Oh yeah. But yeah. No, seriously, guys. Before we go, check out Tales of Nihilism. The final issue went out. If you guys haven't seen it, so it's in the community post. I'll put it it's in the description of all of our videos. Check it out. Tales of Nihilism, Global Comics. Stephen Russell, he's a veteran. It's a veteran-owned business. Support a veteran. Read some good comics with some good stories.
The advertisement was awesome.
Was what?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Before the
Love the advertisement.
Yeah, that was super cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
That
was
check us
very
out on Fiverr if you want. Yeah, check us out on Fiverr if you want your own ad, and you can be on MAARS too. But all right, that's all we've got today, guys. I think I speak for everyone when I say that we're all tired and want to go to bed. I enjoy the rest of our
You
evenings.
young pups.
No, I'm just messing with you. No, I think I speak for everybody though when I say we really do appreciate you and want to thank you one last time, and also just say, for me anyway, personally, I want to say to you guys, God bless you all. Have a good night.